Today's video, I'm getting ready to take out the inflatable boat for the first time. I'm really excited to see how this is gonna go and if it's really gonna be the portable solution I'm hoping it's going to be. So at this point, I have the inflatable loosely rolled up. Right now, I'm just trying to find a way to carry all of the equipment. So I think what I'm gonna do is throw all of that in the carrying bag here, wrap that up, that way that'll be easy to hold. The boat is just going to get rolled up pretty much like this and thrown in the back of the truck. And then I got to make sure I have enough room in the truck for the motor, the gas tank, and the inflator. As I said, it's my first time out. We're going to be trying out the new motor. I'll have another video on getting this and the whole tune-up I did. So that's going to be really fun. I'm excited to see how that works. The main thing I'm looking to see today is if it's stable enough to walk on and fish from, if it's portable enough that this idea is even going to work, and how the motor runs. So let's go ahead and get this all loaded up. We'll take a look at how it fits in the truck, and then I'll see you on the water. All right, well, I think we got it all in. I'm still not super happy with how I have the outboard. I have it laying the way it's supposed to and strapped to the side of the truck, but we'll see. Right now it's pretty tight. Doesn't really have any room to go anywhere either way, but yeah, I definitely want to see if I can make that any better. Got the gas tank in, the pump, the boat, and the floor. So honestly, not too bad. It all fits in the back of a truck. I think if you're an SUV, this might get a little cramped with the size of a boat and motor, but you know, you can always downsize if you're looking to do something smaller. All right, well, let's get out to the water, blow this thing up, and see how it works.
Alright, so as the title of the video implies, this is a video all about how I decided to not do the inflatable boat build. I want to jump in here with some voiceovers because this is probably one of the main reasons I decided to scrap this build, and that was the setup. Maybe if I was able to get a trailer and have this thing inflated and already set up every time, I would have had a different feeling about it. But the entire time I was sitting here setting this boat up, I was thinking, I do not want to do this every single time I go out on the water. For the flooring here, this was an absolute pain. Basically, you have to inflate the sides of the boat, but you can't inflate them too much because then you can't fit in those side supports. So I had to deflate the boat, fit the floors in, and then reflate the boat once the floors were in. So it kind of like locks it all together. Overall, I mean, the process wasn't undoable. It was just something that, as someone who's used to just pulling up to a boat ramp and launching your boat, this is a lot of work. This whole process probably took around 25 minutes or so, and it just wasn't something that I was really looking to do every time I took it out on the water. So next up, I'll show you guys how it actually went on the water, and we'll go from there. Alright, so at this point, I'm finally out on the water, and I'm optimistic that maybe the setup was just, you know, what it was, but that it would just get that much better once we got out on the water. Well, this is unfortunately when things went from bad to worse. As I was out on the water, the outboard just started losing power. I would get good bursts of power, and then it would just like kind of fall off. It wouldn't stop running, it just wouldn't give me the power I was expecting. And it was only a 15 horse, but for the size of the craft and everything, I really didn't think it would be a problem. I ripped it around a little bit, and then I came over here and I turned it off. And then I went to restart it, and it just would not start. At one point, I was actually able to get it running again. That's what you're seeing here. And it ran for like a couple seconds, but then every time I gave it gas, it just started dying on me. I don't know what was causing it to die at this time at least. So I ended up just giving up and using the paddles to just, row myself back to the dock and see if I could figure out what was going on with the boater there. I don't have a recording of this part. I guess that Veronica had turned off the camera at this point, but I actually had to row back to the docks using the onboard paddles.
So what, you shifted it into gear, gave it some gas,
And then it died, yeah.
and then it died. Or are you just gonna call it a day?
So yeah, at this point I had fiddled with the motor a lot, and every time I tried to shift it in gear and give it some gas, it would just die on me. It never started running again, so we called it a day and went home. I wasn't the only person having some trouble on the water today, so that's what you're seeing with this sailboat right here. But yeah, so once I got home and I kind of assessed the situation with the motor and the boat, I decided that this was not a platform that I really wanted to invest any time or money into. So I ended up fixing the motor for the most part. I pulled the carb and cleaned it. I adjusted the idle screw on it. I was able to get it shifting and running again, so that was good. And then I ended up just selling the whole setup for what I bought it for and moved on to the aluminum boat that I'm doing the build on now. So, if any of you guys were wondering what was going on with the inflatable boat build, this is the story and where it ended up. To get the motor working, I tried a couple different things. The first thing I wanted to see was the spark plugs. They didn't look too bad, but I went ahead and swapped them out with some new ones. It didn't really improve anything, but I left them in there because why not? After that, I ended up pulling the carb, cleaned it out completely. Again, it didn't seem very dirty, so I don't believe that was the issue. I ended up messing around with the idle screw some, and I was able to get it to shift and run a lot better. And here's how it looks after I mess with it.